Alright, this is part 2 of unboxing the Finney Phone. So part 1 we unboxed it. Now part 2, we are going to tell you what we think about this phone and give you a review, tell you the features. And Malcolm, take it away.
Alright, so as you guys have seen, this is actually the Finney Phone, and the very cool feature about it, it's actually the secondary screen that you can slide up, So the reason why they have this secondary screen is to make sure that it's super secure in case your OS is kind of like compromised, right? Like with any Trojan horse or keyloggers. This secondary screen acts as, something separate, independent. So they use the secondary screen for things like keying your password, alright, for
only to get into your crypto wallet.
In your crypto wallet, and then like flashing your seed keys and asking you to repeat those seed keys, flashing your QR codes to receive and to send crypto, all done through this very cool secondary screen. And this is what makes it like super secure. And I think there's a lot of other features as well that it's very, very handy when it comes to the Finney Phone, such as the app lock. So inside this Finney Phone, you can actually set a custom lock to any app that you have on this phone. What that means is that you have another layer of security. For example, Binance. Right? We all use Binance. Most crypto people do. When you click onto your Binance app, the first thing you will see is actually just a login page, which is to put in your username, which is your email address, and your password, followed by the Google Authenticator. But this actually gives you another layer. So before you even enter the app, you have to know this special password, right? And if you don't know this password, you can't even enter the app, right? So it's great. Crypto people, more often than not, are a little bit more paranoid, and we appreciate encryption.
I'm glad you think of crypto encryption, because I was thinking of other users for a secondary lock. Because you say that any of the secondary apps can be locked, any of the apps in the phone can be locked. So I would like to lock my WhatsApp Messenger or my, any of my social media platform. Why? Because you don't want your significant other to come in and snoop around your messages while you're sleeping. Or if you have kids at home and you're pressing on your emails and sending out gibberish, you want to lock that up as well.
If you look at Telegram actually has a feature like that. You can actually set a secondary lock to the app. So what I imagine is that Sirin Labs gives you another layer. Crazy, right? Okay, that's a little bit extreme. Okay, that's for me. Okay. But some people like it, and I think this market is for people who are extremely into crypto and extremely paranoid as well as overprotective of their assets. And they should be. We all should be, right? We have thousands of dollars in crypto. Most people.
So besides the secondary lock, what else? There's the native security app as well, security layer. That's by Sirin Labs.
Yep.
Some of the dangers of having a mobile phone these days, many of us will take it for granted. When we log on to Wi-Fi, pretty much anywhere, right? But little do you guys realize that when you log on to a Wi-Fi, you're actually being compromised. Someone can just hack into your phone, and it's been done so many times. Or you have your NFSP, payment by your phone. Someone can just walk past you, scan your phone, and steal money off your e-wallet. So what this Sirin phone does is it prevents such security hacks from happening. And if you take a look at this button here, alright, allow, yes. This is where the security layer is, and whatever that happens to your phone will be locked down here. So if you just walk into a crowded area and people try to hack you, or you log into Wi-Fi, someone's trying to hack you, you can just see it here.
So it actually locks these things that happen, so you kind of know, oh my god, today I almost got hacked 3 times.
Yes, and apparently from the research that we have done, this security feature has been tried and tested. Experts have tried to hack into it and was not successful.
Alright.
But with any security feature, hackers always try to outdo them. So again, be mindful that you have to update your phone.
The most you can do is stay proactive, and that's another interesting point we're going to get to. But before that, just to show you guys, this is just running on Android 8.1. So it's a very standard version of Android. Kind of like the most updated one. So it's kind of, if you're using an Android phone, you won't feel anything different. You just feel the additional security features. I think one very cool thing that they have, reading from their website, is actually the military-grade security, which is called they employ a multi-layered cybersecurity suite, which includes a behavioral-based and machine learning intrusion prevention system, also known as IPS, for proactive cyber protection in real time. So what this means is that when they sense certain behavioral patterns, you know, like maybe you maybe only pay once, maybe use your wallet to send once a week, or maybe like few times a week, but suddenly they see like 10, 20 transactions happening in 20 minutes. You know, that's like a red flag. You know, something's happening, something's going wrong. You know, that's what a hacker would do, right? He'll go into your phone, he'll try and send as many transactions out as possible to maybe different wallets. You know, and that is kind of thing that they sense, and then they kind of like red flag it, alright? And other than that, they have a machine learning kind of element to it, so they're trying to analyze what's going wrong and try to, you know, alert you as soon as these things happen. So which is, you know, another proactive side of things, because as you said, you know, hackers, once they know how certain system works, they're just gonna try to bypass it. But when it's a little bit more proactive, that is, you know, a better prevention system for these kind of things.
I think it's safe to say that the Finney Phone really prides itself on the security features.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another few other features that inbuilt inside the phone, it's like encrypted peer-to-peer calls, you know, and, you know, like encrypted emails. So these are actually features that maybe you will get from like Telegram. You know, Telegram, when you call someone, it's actually an encrypted call. But that is actually inbuilt in the Finney Phone. So I assume
it's actually a third-party app that actually runs that service. So it's not really an inbuilt for Finney Phone, but again, it really tells you that encryption, anonymity, a second layer protection, slide on screen for co-wallet. It screams this phone is what you need if A, you're paranoid, you have a lot of money inside, or B, you just really don't want people to snoop around. And in today's day and age where most of our identity is being stolen and our passwords and everything is compromised, this phone really adds a different layer and dimension to the very mobile phone network, mobile phone industry.
And maybe just to show you guys an example of how difficult it is to actually just receive money. You know, you always think of receiving money as it should be easy, right? Like sending money should be hard. That one I think we all can agree. But the Sirin Labs, this Finney Phone makes receiving money seems like a privilege as well. So let's just see how it goes, alright? So now that we actually unlocked our phone, we actually go into the Finney wallet. It says dive into crypto, which is really cool. And over here you can see the simple interface of receive, send, as well as convert. Alright, so let's try to receive some crypto. And we will say here BTC. Alright, so you can either switch between BTC or Ethereum at this present moment. We can input the amount we're going to receive, which is optional, so let's just leave it blank. And we also have a little rate conversion that is in real time. 1 Ether equals to 235 Sing dollars. So it actually went up. Fantastic. So after that, we click next. It's generating the public address, and they're asking you to open and reopen the save screen to warm up the wallet. So we have to actually open the secondary screen right here. So it actually takes a little bit of time to warm up, you know, but don't worry, it's actually just a very short time. And now we have to input this special password within this secondary screen. Alright, please help us to input the password. And it's touch screen, by the way, so you have to just manually scroll through the letters and kind of input your 4-digit password, a combination of numbers and letters. So once that's done, it's actually going through a processing stage, and it says I'm ready, and this is the actual QR code that you will see. So, you know, the QR code actually appears in the secondary screen, not on the main screen. So anybody who wants to send you crypto actually has to scan on this small screen. We tried it. It was a little bit tricky, but once you have a steady hand and your camera is like close enough, you'll really get it. You know, so this kind of like shows you, you know, how seriously they take this you know, everything inside here, the cold wallet, receive, send. It's really
it's convenient, but at the same time, it's there's a security.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have both. You know, security and convenience is kind of like in the opposite end.
Yeah.
The more convenient it is,
will not be as convenient as say having just a WeChat Pay.
Yeah.
You know,
WeChat Pay is like you just open and.
So there is a different layer of security here, which is necessary if you have thousands of dollars and, like, you know, between like your PayLah, PayNow, and your WeChat, those functions with a centralized control, like a bank, to protect you from external intrusion. But for a cold wallet or a crypto wallet, you are your best defender. So there is a little bit of hurdles to jump through, but generally the interface is sleek, the processor is quite straightforward. Just a little bit of waiting time, but I think as the phone improves, we might see a faster and faster, as the phone improves, we might see a shorter waiting time.
Yeah, I think the last point for me is really about the importance of cold storage. You know, cold storage brings your wallet outside of the internet, and when you have we call it a wallet that is hosted online, a hot wallet, or hosted with an exchange, a hot wallet. And hot wallets are more likely to get hacked because, you know, there's a lot of, for example, if Binance gets hacked, a lot of your personal data, like email addresses, you know, are all there for the taking. Then it kind of
Binance gets hacked.
Yeah.
It's the same all.
Yeah. But, you know, that gives the hackers an additional, you know, information to hack you. But for cold wallets, it's cold storage. If you really protect it, like for example, the seed. Alright, Sirin, this phone, Finney Phone, the cold storage has a 24-letter seed. The most I've seen actually is like 16 to 18. So 24 is like a lot.
Right? Overdoing it maybe.
You know, but you know, that's how serious they take it. And when you have a cold storage, you're basically off the grid. And when you're off the grid, you don't know the public key, and you don't know the private key. Impossible.
That's right.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
And make sure, I mean, many of you are thinking, but why will I keep my cold storage on a phone when I can lose it? Like I go travel, I drop my phone, I lose it, so I lose everything. Say no, there's a reason why you have the seed password. So my top suggestion is to carve that seed password into a fireproof material and keep it in a safe where you know, in your house. Alright, and that is what you'll use to recover in case you lose your phone. So don't worry about that too much.
Alright, and now for the guys who are not watching this for the cold wallet, and you're wondering, can you get your hands on this really cool phone even if you're not in cryptocurrency? And the answer is yes, because the user experience is something that you'll be familiar with. If you're using an Android phone, there's no big major difference with that kind of user experience. But what's really outstanding for me is the phone itself reminds me of some of the old school phones that I was madly in love with. Can you remember the first phone that you had?
I had a Sony Ericsson.
Okay, what's cool about that?
I think it was like really solid and it played decent music for the time.
Okay, so decent music, really solid. I like my Nokias because they were really solid as well. The modern phones were really flimsy, and my very first phone was the 8110. If you watch Matrix, you know the phone with that.
Oh, the flip phone.
Right, so
the sound is so cool.
Yeah,
right?
the sound is so cool. And if you notice, everything is black. It's very sleek, side chrome. This reminds me of the old Virtu phone or the old 8850 Nokia, or even back then when iPhone first came out.
It was a silver, the back was like
silver, just plain screen,
chrome,
and this is just like that. It fits in the hand very nicely. So a lot of phones these days are really huge, right? But this fits very nicely with fingerprint at the back. Camera is at 12 megapixels on the back, 8 megapixels in front, very decent. Can't be compared to the P30 Huawei.
30 times zoom. Okay, so the Finney Phone actually boasts a 6-inch display with a 1080 by 2160 pixel resolution and a 1500 to 1 contrast ratio, ultra low reflection, fingerprint sensors, and all the other cool shit like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all the standard things that you come to expect from a phone, and as well as SD card storage, so you can increase your storage, right?
The speakers are on the side, the bottom, you can see on both sides. Okay, so the phone, if you buy it online right now, it's selling for $999 USD. It's a pretty steep, but then again, this phone is not your usual entry level that is meant for kids to play. But the design on its own, by the weight itself and what it can do, the main features, this is a serious phone for serious users. If you're in the crypto, this is a phone that you really want to have, because instead of carrying other cold wallets with you, it's all in here. The security feature is really sweet. If you're not in crypto, now this is a big question, right? If you're not in crypto, should you get this phone? Well, the truth is, if you're not in crypto, a lot of the main features, or rather the cold wallet, is lost onto you. But that doesn't mean that the security feature, the encryption is not useful as well. So if you're paranoid and you're in crypto, or paranoid and or in crypto, this phone is a must-have. Otherwise, it's also pretty cool and very sleek because I'm going to use it just for conversation starter.
Yep.
Right.
And I mean, the last point that I want to bring is like, if you think about it, it's really quite value for money in the sense that it runs a custom OS, the Sirin OS, with all the cool features we just talked about. You know, it's a quad-core Snapdragon 845. It's at 6 gigs of RAM, which is also pretty high. Most phones have about 6 to 8 gig of RAM. About 6 is actually...
So it's comparable. It's really, if you compare this phone with any of the other phones in the market...
Yeah, like Samsung, like even Apple is running like 6 to 8 gig of RAM, depending on, you know, what you choose to upgrade. So it's pretty decent. It's 128 gigs of storage, which is also very, very good. 128 gig these days can store tons and tons of stuff. It has Android running Android 8.1, and yeah, you know, cold storage and supports major cryptocurrencies and tokens.
So what do you think? Will you get this phone over your iPhone? Or does it
that's a big question. Okay, for me, I really like what Finney has done with the secondary screen and all the different features it has. The problem is I've never really been an Android lover. I've always been an iPhone kind of guy. But it's tempting to try. Maybe I'll see you use it for a while, I'll play around with it, and who knows, I might make the switch. I mean, changing OS is just about habits. But getting all these like security features is something, you know, you can't get elsewhere. So I better adapt or die now. I really like this cold wallet. I really need it. And I think it will be a great investment.
I like it for a more shallower reason.
Okay.
Like, I like it because it looks really good. And I'm a guy who puts my phone on the table and I see my phone all the time. My phone is always in my hand. So having a decent looking phone, a great looking phone, a very sexy, slim, chrome cornered looking phone, this to me is very important. And I'm very used to carrying both phones at the same time. So I'm going to use this phone as well as my iPhone, and we'll see how this plays out after a week.
One of the deciding factors for me is really if any phone case makers will actually make a nice case, or Sirin Labs themselves will make it. Because I tend to drop my phone a lot, so I need something to...
They have a case, but it's not sexy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alright, that's all we have for a review. We hope you have enjoyed it. If you're watching this for the first time, my name is Eugene.
And my name is Malcolm.
You're watching us on Rock Live. We do everything on the edge tech, talk about technology, cool stuff, crypto, blockchain, AR, all this kind of stuff. Give us a like, subscribe to us, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Thank you very much.